Resort Hotel. ASU strike illegal, says federal government. Abia warriors dodge trade wars over wages. Good morning and welcome to the news. I am Jonah Oche. The Abia State Independent Electoral Commission chairmanship nominee, Professor Mpa Agompa, has vowed to bring to bear his wealth of experience and ensure fairness to all political parties in the state. Professor Mpa stated this during a chat with newsmen after his screening at the executive session of the Abia State House of Assembly. Nora Okafor reports that Professor Mpa's name was forwarded to the State House of Assembly on Friday, 6th March for screening and confirmation by Governor Okezi Ikpeazu. The report.
Professor Mpa Agompa, who was grilled for over an hour by the lawmakers, vowed to ensure fairness to all parties in the state, but warned fake certificate holders not to bother being part of the elections as they will be disqualified. The ABSEC chairmanship nominee denied allegations that he is a card-carrying member of the People's Democratic Party or any other political party. He challenged those pending the allegations to come forward with evidence. The former Vice-Chancellor of Abia State University assured of transparency and accountability during his tenure as ABSEC chairman in the state. He assured of free, fair and credible local government elections in the state.
We shall do this job with utmost transparency, that everybody in Abia State will be carried along, that the chairman of ABSEC does not belong to any political party. He is not a card-carrying member of any party, and he perceives the entire length and breadth of Abia State as his constituency. We will do the right thing to the big and to the small, to the young and to the old, to the rich and to the poor. Will be free and fair to everybody.
The former secretary to Abia State government said, if confirmed, the commission will release a timetable for the local government elections on time after consultations with relevant stakeholders.
We assure you, Abia is in for a good time. Those that are in politics, we assure them a level playing ground. But we also advise that anybody that is coming onto the political platform should have correct credentials so that people are not disqualified. Let people disqualify themselves before time.
Before his present appointment, Professor Mpa Agompa, among other positions held, was a commissioner for education in the state. Nora Okafor, MCL News.
Governor Ifeanyi of Enugu State has charged the new board of Nike Lake Hotel Resort to work with the management of the hotel to restore its glory. Governor Ifeanyi gave the charge on Tuesday during the inauguration of the 7-member board of directors of the hotel, headed by then Ugochi Madeke. He disclosed that his administration, in its concerted efforts to improve the infrastructure of the hotel, has invested a lot of resources in the restoration of power management system. The governor said that government is implementing turnaround maintenance of the hotel water facility and plumbing works to return the hotel to full functionality. He went further to say that his administration plans to commence a comprehensive but gradual rehabilitation of other infrastructure of the hotel to return the great heritage to profitability. In her response, the chairman, then Madeke, thanked Governor for finding them worthy to serve and promised that the team will not disappoint him. Other members of the board are Francis Inamani, Jude Ugu, Chris Ezema, Okechukwu Ibeneku, Mrs. Uche Onzu, and Igwe Eje. The Anambra State Executive Council has approved a special academic calendar for school children in flood-prone areas of the state. A statement by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic Education, Linus Nwabezemonkwo, said the approval was granted based on a request by the Commissioner for Basic Education, Professor Kate Omenola. One noted that the special academic calendar has become necessary because children from flood-prone areas are usually out of school whenever flood water overwhelms their area. Meanwhile, various relief materials have been handed over to the 2019 flood victims at the Anambra State Emergency Management Agency SEMA office complex in Oka. Representative of the Presidential Committee on Flood, Relief and Rehabilitation, John Oricho, while handing over the items, commended Anambra State government for ensuring that the pains that followed each flooding disaster in the state is mitigated. He explained that the purpose of the handover is to enable government through SEMA to commence the distribution of relief items to victims. The federal government has said the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU's two-week warning strike is illegal. The Minister of Labor and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, stated this while speaking with State House correspondents at the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday. The FEC meeting was presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Ngige explained that contrary to the International Labour Organization Convention, ASU failed to give proper notice to the government before embarking on strike. Ngige confirmed that the Integrated Personnel Payroll Information System (IPPIS) was the bone of contention and warned that the government would invoke no work, no pay policy. The Federal Executive Council on Wednesday approved a total of 43.3 billion naira for a road and various agricultural projects in the country. This was disclosed while addressing State House correspondents by the Minister of Work and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, and Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Sabo Nanono. Speaking on the project approved for the ministry, the Minister of Works and Housing, Fashola, said the FEC approved the reassignment of the 9th mile section of the Enugu-Onitsha Highway from a previous contract to a new one. According to him, the project is a 15-kilometer section of the road, costing a total of 29.4 billion naira, and now reassigned to the contractor handling a substantial part of the entire stretch of the road, RCC. The Minister of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Lanudo, said the FEC approved a total of 13.9 billion naira for a number of projects which are centered around combating some pests and diseases militating against food security. Senate has passed for first reading a bill proposing 10 years jail term for generator importers and sellers in Nigeria. The bill christened a bill for an act to prohibit or ban the importation and use of generating sets to curb the menace of environmental pollution and to facilitate the development of power sector was sponsored by Senator Enagi Bina. According to the bill, which passed first reading at plenary, any person who imports generating sets or knowingly sells generating sets shall be guilty of an offense and be liable on conviction to be sentenced to imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years. The ban, however, excluded essential services. The bill added that the ban or prohibition of generating sets shall not include generating sets used for essential services, which include medical purposes, airports, railway stations, elevators, escalators, research institutions, and such facilities that require 24 hours electric power supply. Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma says He has halted the misappropriation and embezzlement of funds in Imo State Oil Producing Area Commission. This, he said, has enabled his government to save over 800 million naira within the shortest possible time. The governor, on a visit to Maho community in Ohaji Edema local government area, said that such funds were meant for the development and growth of the oil communities, regretting that past administrations had fed fat from it to the detriment of the people of the areas. The governor disclosed this at the palace of the traditional ruler of Maho community in Ohaji Edema local government area while meeting with stakeholders. He further promised that he will ensure the funds and all the benefits accruing to an oil producing community, including the 13% oil derivation, are put to good use. A lady identified as Chinazebere Owadneke of Amakama Ilokoro in Umuahia South Local Government area of Abia State is now in police custody for allegedly killing a 7-month-old baby girl, Precious Ndodem. The now dead child belonged to her lover, one Ndodem Wabuko of Ndabo community of Afaruku in Umuahia North Local Government area, where Chinazebere had gone to steal the child before killing her. A Mama Wanswo reports that the lifeless body of the little Precious was discovered in a drainage channel along Aba Road in Umuahia. Here is his report.
This is the Stampo area of Aba Road in Umuahia, and according to an eyewitness, this open part of the covered drainage channel is the exact point where the little baby's body was discovered on Tuesday morning.
I saw the baby. A female baby. She should be like 8 to 9 months. There's a small wound on her face.
But the story did not begin here. According to some villagers who did not want to be identified, it began around 7:45 p.m. the previous day, being Monday, right here at this building, the home of Mr. Ndodem Wabuko of Ndabo community of Afaruku, Umuahia North Local Government area. It was here that Chinazebere, who is now in police custody, was said to have taken away baby Precious from her 10-year-old sister while their mother was still at her shop nearby. And by the next morning, the baby was found in the gutter, but unfortunately was confirmed dead on arrival at the Madonna Hospital. Anger was rife among the people at the Umuahia area command headquarters of the Nigeria Police, where the matter was reported, though we were not allowed contact with the suspect and the baby's father. The police command in Abia State attributes the crime to a moral affairs that went wrong between the suspect and the father of the deceased baby.
As it is now, the lady is in our custody. Investigation has commenced. But little that has been extracted from her is that she was an ex-girlfriend to the father of the girl, that the man never told her that he was married, having made her to procure series of abortion, that he was able to keep a woman that is, keep a woman and is having children. So that is where we are now.
But will that narrative be considered in this case? The police say no.
So whether the man disappointed her or not, that one is not what we should be talking about. What should be paramount now is that somebody's life has been taken away. That is it. And she will have to face the full wrath of the law.
This latest crime has further highlighted the series of violent crimes that have visited Umuahia and environs lately, and now points to the dire need for the entrenchment of community policing. Emmanuel Wazwe, MCL News.
No fewer than 14 persons from Umuogudu, Akpungo in Ohuoku local government area of Ebonyi State have been killed by suspected warlords from Agelang in Ado local government area of Benue State. Property worth millions of naira was also destroyed in the renewed boundary dispute between the two neighboring communities, which has lingered for decades. Sources in the area confirmed the incident, adding that the attackers invaded the Ebonyi community at about 1 p.m. on Tuesday. The indigents called on security agents and the state government to quickly intervene and save their people from further attack and destruction. Efforts to reach police public relations officer for Ebonyi State Command, Loveth Oda, for comment were unsuccessful as at the time of filing this report. Six years after Nigeria introduced a law prohibiting any act of homosexuality in the country, to what extent has the law curbed the outlawed practice? This is a question begging for answers as residents of Umuahia decry the increasing rates of the practice. MCL News had a chat with a legal practitioner on the effects of the law on homosexuality. Precious Ezibo reports.
Homosexuality is a romantic or sexual attraction between members of same sex or gender. In Nigeria, the act is not just culturally frowned at, the law prohibits it. The prohibition came into effect on 7th January 2014 when the then President Goodluck Jonathan signed the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Bill into law. The law forbids same-sex marriage and bans any public show of same-sex amorous relationship in any part of the country. It stipulates a 10 to 14-year prison sentence for anyone who operates or participates in any gay activities. But despite the introduction of this law 6 years ago, the practice appears to be on the increase, and one wonders why.
A problem with maybe implementing a law is particularly this one that has to do with criminal prosecution is only when you have perhaps caught somebody in the act and you have enough evidence to have the person prosecuted that you will approach the court for the person to be prosecuted and probably convicted and jailed. So but I have not heard of any case where somebody was perhaps arraigned for committing homosexuality or lesbianism. Remember, it's also very difficult for you to at least maybe catch somebody doing it because they do it in secrecy.
However, some respondents express different opinions as to why it is on the increase and how it can be curbed.
Someone happened to buy a cartoon and the children watch such cartoon where there's lesbianism. What do you expect from those children? They want to practice such. So I think the media must be looked into to stop promoting such acts, because if the media continue to promote it, the society will accept it and feel it's a normal way of living. Government should come out to say no to it in every way they can.
Bad influence corrupts good manners. Like the kind of friends you have, they will influence you to do those kind of stuff.
Because of the way the parents of these days are training their children, they are not giving them the good orientation. They are not training them in the way of God. That is why when they grew, they started behaving anyhow. I will advise all the families of the world, pastors, churches, keep on praying for the youth, also encouraging them, having seminar. Always let them know that all is not money.
Though there has been a lot of expressed views about acts of homosexuality, it is a popular opinion that the law and the law enforcement institution should be strengthened to tackle the menace. Precious Ezibo, MCL News.
Still to come on the news. COVID-19 taking huge toll on economy, says Buhari. World Health Organization finally declares coronavirus global pandemic. Abia warriors dodge trade bros over wages. Details after the break. Stay tuned.
Just like the days when the Spirit stirred the waters, making tremendous miracles and life-transforming testimonies and everyday realities. So it is now. Brace yourself for the break of the supernatural with Breakout Music Concert Season 3 featuring Chinyere Udoma, Priye Odede, Asu Ekiye, the ever-sensational Feke Obon, and our very own Idika and the African Trumpet Band. It is definitely an atmosphere of high praise and deep worship, holding on Friday, the 3rd of April 2020 at the Arena of Glory Cathedral, Gospel Crusaders Mission, 8 to 10 Crusader Street off 36 Omule Road, Aba, Abia State. Time 8 p.m. prompt. Also ministering Joy Hyson, Dorcas, Chooks Peters, Debbie, Fine Tune Choral Chambers, the Heroes Mass Choir, Noel Joffrey, and the Attitude. Host Bishop C.U. Ugoja and GCA Mass Choir. Remember, don't break down, break out.
With heavy heart, the management and staff of Loving Communications Limited, MCLtv, announced the death of one of his staff, Mr. Nathaniel Ogugwa Mwabilike. The sad event occurred on Wednesday night in February 2020. Until his death, the late Mwabilike, popularly known as Akuno Joto, was the studio manager of MCLtv. The deceased was a graduate of theatre arts from the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. He was the creator of the program Frontliners, which metamorphosed into Frontrunners. Sports Digest, which has been running for more than a decade, is the brainchild of late Mr. Mwabunike. He was also credited with the introduction of newspaper review on MCLtv. The burial announcement will be announced by the family. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Mommy, mosquito is biting me.
When I ask you to use Top Rank insecticide.
Top Rank insecticide kills mosquitoes, cockroach, flies, and every other crawling and flying insects faster anywhere around you. NAFDAC approves Top Rank insecticide for its effectiveness. Use Top Rank insecticide and enjoy a peaceful night's rest. Available in all shops and supermarkets near you in 600 milliliter can and 300 milliliter can. Top Rank insecticide is marketed nationwide by C Success Multi Services Limited. Telephone 0813 111 2348 or 090-960-22577. Top Rank insecticide. What's worth doing is worth doing well.
Wow, the lab results.
Yes.
Okay. Where is this man? She has malaria.
Malaria?
Yes.
What do you think you prescribe for?
We prescribe Casimir tablet.
Casimir tablet?
Yes, Casimir tablet.
Casimir tablet get at letter and limit from 3 for inside. Casimir tablet. Now Maxim Laboratories Private Limited for India. They make them, but na Grace Base Pharmacy and Store Limited. And I think they distribute Casimir tablet for here. Casimir tablet get NAFDAC approval for take fight malaria, come out your family.
Casimir tablet, na correct anti-malaria.
Casimir tablets. It dey stop every malaria.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
We are glad you are still there. The reality of a worrisome economic meltdown as a result of the touring coronavirus, which has at last count has touched down on 90 countries, came closer home on Tuesday, with President Muhammadu Buhari admitting that the novel coronavirus has started affecting the nation's revenue negatively. The president made this known among workers in the health sector under the auspices of Joint Health Sector Unions, JOHESU, and Assembly Healthcare Professionals Association (AHPA) paid him a courtesy call in his office. The president, in a statement issued by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Gareba Shen, appealed to the health workers to consider the current state of the economy and be moderate in their demands, assuring that government is looking into their issues with a view to resolving them. President Buhari also called on the visitors to appeal to the patriotic sentiment of their workers in these trying times and continue to work for further development of the country. And on the foreign scene, a local national who had recently stayed in Italy has been confirmed as Ivory Coast's first coronavirus case, the government said on Wednesday. Africa has so far mostly escaped large numbers of cases in the epidemic that has spread across 110 countries since first emerging in China in December. The Ivorian case is a 45-year-old man whose symptoms were detected on Tuesday and who tested positive for COVID-19 on Wednesday, the country's health ministry said in a statement. He was quickly taken care of in an Abidjan hospital and his clinical status is stable, the ministry said. All people the man had contacted have been identified and authorities were following it up. There are around 20 cases in sub-Saharan Africa so far, in South Africa, Nigeria, DR Congo, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Senegal, and Togo, according to the World Health Organization, which is far less than most other regions outside the continent. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization (WHO) has declared coronavirus a global pandemic. This followed the fast spread of the deadly disease globally. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus made the announcement at a press conference at the organization's headquarters in Geneva. Tedros observed that several countries have demonstrated their ability to suppress and control the outbreak. He, however, criticized other world leaders for not acting quickly enough. Nigeria recorded its first case on February 27. The individual is an Italian who entered into the country from Milan. Coronavirus has killed over 4,000 people, affecting 90 countries and recording 120 cases. And now sports. Abia Warriors and their estranged former coach Emmanuel Bosch are engaged in a disagreement over unpaid salary and match bonuses. The Cameroonian tactician who parted ways with the Umuahia-based outfit after the team lost a local derby 1-4 to Enyimba International at home said the club owed him 1,500,000 naira. The former Delta State FC of Asaba coach claimed that he was owed 10 match bonuses totaling 400,000 naira and he is yet to be paid his 1,100,000 naira per month contract for February. Responding to the allegation, the club's sporting director, Patrick Ngwego, said the coach was ignorant of the dictates of his contract. His erroneous accusation. Meanwhile, Bosch has threatened to table his case before the league management company and the Nigeria Football Coaches Association for arbitration of Abia Warriors if they don't pay. And to end the news this morning, second look at the major stories. Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State has charged the new board of Nickel Lake Hotel Resort to work with the management of the hotel to restore its glory. The federal government has said the Academic Staff Union of University ASU's 2-week warning strike is illegal. Abia Warriors and their estranged former coach Emmanuel Bosch are engaged in a disagreement over unpaid salary and match bonuses. This is where we end the news, and thanks for tuning in. I am Jonah Oji. Have a good morning.